National Athletes Coach and Trainers Benefits and Incentives Act, and the Motorcycle Crime Prevention Act, as well as the Bayanihan to Heal As One Act and the Doktor Para sa Bayan Act. Throughout his 24 years in the Senate, as a testament to his great skill as a leader and a consensus builder, he has gained the trust of various sets of senators to serve as Majority Leader, as Deputy Minority Leader, and ultimately as Senate President. Having served in various leadership roles in the Senate, Senator Sotto perhaps has developed a deep understanding of our rules and traditions, and more importantly, the gravity of upholding them. He does not just know our rules inside out, he also knows what chaos and instability will ensue if we fail to honor them. The Senate stands for more than just a legislative function. It stands for the very best of our nation's democratic ideals. And as Senate President, Senator Sotto was a traditionalist in the very best sense of the word, protecting the Senate's stand and legacy as a nation's last bastion of democracy. He led, and I'd like to add for the record that there was one time that his leadership was challenged because of his role of protecting each and every chairman, to allow each and every chairman the leeway to act in accordance to their committee structure and the ideals of their committee. And he never meddled with these traditions of the Senate. No. As a traditionalist, he's protecting always the Senate's standing and legacy as the nation's last bastion of democracy. He led with fairness and transparency, and led as primus inter pares, first among equals. Walang linalamangan, ika nga. Under his leadership, the Senate had a healthy spirit and exchange of debates between the members. But also a spirit of unity that inspired trust and confidence in the Filipino people. As his majority leader during his term as Senate President, I have seen firsthand his commitment to this institution and how he led by example. For instance, he was always present and on time, walang absent. If there's anyone in this institution that claimed the perfect attendance, it is him as well since the start of his legislative career, together with myself since 1998. I guess with him it's 1992. To show his commitment to the institution as a legislator, he led definitely by example. For instance, even during the time of COVID, we were all online, Mr. President. All of us were online. I was in Cagayan de Oro as Majority Leader because there was a lockdown. Senator Sotto, Mr. President, was present all the time in the session floor, in the exact podium where the presiding officer is sitting right now. To be able to open session, even at an elder age, he was a senior citizen. He was not afraid to come to the Senate and to start the sessions in that podium, Your Honors. Ikaw na lang ang mahihiya pag naunahan ka niya sa session hall pag kayo'y late. And I'd like to give a short anecdote on that. As a matter of fact, those days, I would be late sometimes. As many of you know, sometimes I'm late for my meetings. But as Majority Leader, the Senate President Sotto would always start session at 3 p.m., regardless if we were here or not. And I could recall a few times, he would start session at 3 p.m. and suspend to await my arrival. Siyempre, nakakahiya po yan. And I learned my lesson not to be late anymore. It was quite embarrassing, actually. But that was Senator Sotto. He was a stickler for the rules and traditions. At bilang Senate President, lagi siyang handa para sa lahat na nangyayari at mangyayari sa Senado. From the day-to-day grind of the legislative meal to the long-term timelines for our priority measures. Ika nga, walang trabahong maliit at walang problemang malaki para kay Senator Sotto. Tito Sen was on top of everything and the Senate functioned smoothly under his guidance. So my dear colleagues, let us elect a leader who can help the Senate rise above the noise and establish itself once again as an institution dedicated to nothing but the best interests of the Filipino people. Let us elect Senator Vicente C. Sotto III as our Senate President. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay ang Senado.
Thank you, Senator Migs Zubiri, Majority Leader.
Yes, Mr. President, I move that Senator Lauren Legarda be recognized to second the nomination.
Senator Lauren Legarda is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. It is my honor to second the nomination of Senator Vicente C. Sotto III for the Senate presidency. A former Senate President and the most seasoned member of this chamber, now in his 5th Senate term, Senator Sotto brings unmatched institutional memory and legislative experience, as well as a firm grasp of the discipline and the decorum that this august institution demands. He understands both the weight of the Senate's traditions and the demands of principled dissent, qualities that powerfully distinguish his ability to lead the Senate. I was in my first term in 1998 till 2004. I was the majority leader in 2001, and he was the minority leader. Fast forward on my third term, he was a Senate President for many years, and I was his trusted chairman of the Committee on Finance. We've worked together for more than 25 years, and I can attest to his discipline that he will lead with transparency, discipline, decorum, accountability, and many more, the traits needed by the institution at this time. This designation affirms our commitment to a Senate that is discerning and grounded in democratic principles, engaging in the work of legislation with integrity, transparency, accountability, and independence. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Lauren Legarda, Majority Leader.
Mr. President, there are no other nominations. I therefore move that we close the period of nomination and proceed to vote for the position of the President of the Senate.
Is there any second? Senator Alan, Peter? Is there any objection? There being none, the motion is approved. We shall now proceed to vote.
Roll call vote, the Honorable Senator Aquino, Senator Cayetano Alan, Senator Cayetano Pia, Senator De La Rosa, Senator Escudero, Senator Ejercito, Senator Estrada,
Escudero,
Senator Gatchalian, Senator Go, Senator Hontiveros, Senator Lacson, Senator Lapid, Senator Legarda, Senator Marcoleta, Senator Marcos,
what is the vote?
Escudero.
Hina.
Escudero.
Mahina.
Senator Padilla, Senator Pangilinan,
And I'd like to explain my vote after the voting.
Senator Sotto, Senator Tulfo Erwin, Senator Tulfo Rafi, Senator Villanueva, Senator Villar Camille, Senator Villar Mark, Senator Zubiri,
There are 19 votes in favor of Senator Francis Chis Escudero and 5 votes in favor of Senator Vicente Sotto. Senator Francis Cheese Escudero is therefore elected President of the Senate. Senator Francis Pangilinan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Congratulations to Senate President Escudero, maybe. Mr. President, fellow senators, please allow me to explain my vote.
Please proceed.
In the last 2025 elections, despite what critics said was a campaign headed for defeat, we defied the odds and pulled off a come-from-behind win and landed in the top 5. Starved of much-needed resources, our ragtag team of mostly volunteers fought tooth and nail, tao sa tao, mano a mano, house to house, SOCMED account by SOCMED account. It was a bruising, hard-fought victory, and we campaigned daily for over 6 months throughout the country under one banner. Pababain ang presyo ng bigas at pagkain, palakasin ang hanay ng magsasaka, mangingisda at agrikultura. It is a banner I know well. For over 15 years now, I have carried it in the legislative branch as chairperson of the Agriculture Committee from 2010 to 2013, and then again from 2016 to 2017. In 2014 and 2015, I carried it more forcefully in the Executive Department as Food Security Secretary, heading the critical agencies such as, and namely, National Food Authority, National Irrigation Administration, Philippine Coconut Authority, and the Fertilizer and Pesticide Authority. In a period of just 1 year during our stint, with the full backing of former President Aquino, we won a major battle for the Filipino people. Panalo ang kababayan natin dahil natigil natin ang pagtaas ng presyo ng bigas at napababa pa ito ng hanggang 3 piso kada kilo sa loob lamang ng 1 taon. From 2014 to 2015, we brought down rice inflation nationwide from 15% to 0.8%, running after smugglers, hoarders, cleansing the bureaucracy and corruption in the NFA rice supply management, among others, that led to a savings of 7 billion pesos of government rice imports. By September 2015, we effectively managed rice prices, and nationwide inflation was at its lowest in 20 years. Kaya kung maalala natin ng ating mga kababayan, noong mga panahon na yun, maraming nabibili ang 500 piso at 1,000 piso sa palengke. Mababa, pinakamababang inflation. It is in this context that my decision to align with the majority and with the support of the majority of our colleagues secure the chairmanship of the Senate Agriculture Committee. We are facing our nation is facing a food crisis, and high prices of food have led to unprecedented hunger incidents as well as unprecedented stunting among our children. I am not a political ally of the administration, but my 15 years experience in the agri and food sector, both in the legislative and executive branches, tells me that only if the executive and the legislative branches work together can we effectively bring down food prices and address hunger and food inflation. Nagawa na natin noon, at kung magbigay ng buong suporta ang ating Pangulo, magagawa natin ulit ngayon. Finally, in my 18 years as senator, I have seen Senate presidents come and go. I have seen majority and minority blocs dissolved periodically. I have witnessed political alignments rearranged and reconfigured repeatedly. But what is long-lasting, what has permanence, what has stability and certainty are the landmark pieces of legislation marshaled by effective, experienced, and dedicated chairpersons of Senate committees that enact into law and enacted into law that have a direct, meaningful, and lasting impact in the uplifting of the lives of millions of our kababayans. In the end, to reassure our voters and supporters, I say that our aligning with the majority does not and will not undermine our ability to remain fiercely independent